do you mean? Do you wish me a good morning? Or mean that it is good morning whether I want it or not? Or that you feel good this morning? Or that this is a morning to be good on?
All of them at once.
I am looking for someone to share in an adventure that I am arranging, and it's very difficult to find anyone.
I should think so in these parts. We are plain quiet folk and have no use for adventures. Nasty, disturbing, uncomfortable things. Make you late for dinner. I can't think what anybody sees them. Good morning. We don't want any adventures here. Thank you. You might try over the hill or across the water.
What a lot of things you do use good morning for. Now you mean that you want to get rid of me, and that it won't be good till I move off.
Not at all, my dear sir. Let me see, I don't think I know your name.
Yes, my dear sir, and I do know your name, Mr. Bilbo Baggins, and you do know my name, though you don't remember that I belong to it. I am Gandalf, and Gandalf means me. To think that I should have lived to be good morninged by Belladonna Took's son as if I was selling buttons at the door.
Gandalf, good gracious me. Not the wandering wizard that gave old Took a pair of magic diamond studs that fastened themselves and never came undone till ordered. Not the fellow who used to tell such wonderful tales at parties about dragons and goblins and giants and the rescue of princesses and the unexpected luck of widows' sons. Not the man that used to make such particularly excellent fireworks. I remember those. Old Took used to have them on Midsummer's Eve. Splendid! They used to go up like great lilies and snapdragons and laburnums of fire and hang in the twilight all evening. Dear me! Not the Gandalf who was responsible for so many quiet lads and lasses going off into the blue for mad adventures. Anything from climbing trees to visiting elves, or sailing in ships, sailing to other shores. Bless me, life used to be quite you used to upset things badly in these parts, once upon a time. I beg your pardon, but I have no idea you were still in business.
Where else should I be? All the same, I am pleased to find that you remember something about me. You seem to remember my fireworks kindly at any rate, and that is not without hope. Indeed, for your grandfather Took's sake, and for the sake of poor Belladonna, I will give you what you asked for.
I beg your pardon, I haven't asked for anything.
Yes, you have. Twice now. My pardon, I give it to you. In fact, I will go so far as to send you on this adventure. Very amusing for me, very good for you, and profitable too, very likely, if you ever get over it.
Sorry, I don't want any adventures, thank you. Not today. Good morning. But please come to tea. Anytime you like. Why not tomorrow? Come tomorrow. Goodbye. What on earth did I ask him to tea for? Dwellin' at your service. Bilbo Baggins, it's yours. I'm just about to take tea. Break my nose with me.
I see they've begun to arrive already. Balin, at your service.
Thank you. Come along in and have some tea.
A little beer would suit me better, if it is all the same to you, my good sir. But I don't mind some cake. Seed cake, if you have any.
Lots! What can I do for you, my dwarves? Keely, at your service. And Feely, at yours and your families. Dwellin and Balin are here already, I see. Let us join the throng. Someone at the door.
Some boy should say by the sound.
Besides, we saw them coming along behind us in the distance. Nori, at your service. Dory, at your service. Ori, at your service.
Oin, at your service.
Gloin at your service.
Carefully. It is not like you, Bilbo, to keep friends waiting on the mat, and then open their door like a popgun. Let me introduce Biffa, Boffa, Bomba, and especially Thorin.
Beaver at your service.
Over. At your service.
Bomba! At your service! Now we are all here. Quite a merry gathering. I hope there is something left for the latecomers to eat and drink. What's that? Tea? No thank you. A little red wine, I think, for me.
And for me. And raspberry jam and apple tart. And mince pie and cheese.
And pork pie and salad!
And cakes!
And good.
Put on a few eggs, that's a good fellow. And just bring out the cold chicken and pickles.
Why don't they come and lend a hand? I suppose you will all stay to supper. Of course. And after. We shan't get through the business till late, and we must have some music first. Now to clean up. Please be careful. Please don't trouble. I can manage.
Chip the glasses and crack the plates, blunt the knives and bend the forks. That's what Bilbo Baggins hates, so carefully, carefully with the plates.
Now for some music.
Far over the misty mountains cold, to dungeons deep and caverns alone, we must away ere break of day to seek the pale enchanted gold.
Where are you going? What about a little light?
We like
the
dark. Dark
Dark.
for the human.
There are many
Of course.
Hush. Let Thorn speak.
Gandalf, dwarves, and Mr. Baggins. We met together in the house of our friend and fellow conspirator, the most excellent and audacious Hobbit. May the hair on his nose never fall out. All praise to his wine and ale. We are met to discuss our plans, our ways, means, policy, and devices. We shall soon, before the break of day, start on our long journey. A journey from which some of us, or perhaps all of us, except our friend and counselor, the ingenious wizard Gandalf, may never return. It is a solemn moment. Our object is, I take it, well known to us all. To the estimable Mr. Baggins, and perhaps to one or two of the younger dwarves, I think I should be right in naming Keely and Feely, for instance, the exact situation at the moment may require a brief explanation.
Struck by lightning! Struck by lightning! Struck by lightning! Excitable little fellow. It's funny queer fits, but he is one of the best. One of the best. As fierce as a dragon in a pinch.
Humph. What do you think? It is all very well for Gandalf to talk about the Hobbit being fierce, but one shriek like that, in a moment of excitement, would be enough to wake the dragon and all his relatives, and kill the Lurrus. I think it sounded more like fright than excitement. In fact, if it had not been for the sign on the door, I should have been sure we had come to the wrong house. As soon as I clapped eyes on that little fellow bobbing and puffing on the mat, I had my doubts. He looks more like a grocer than a burglar.
Pardon me, if I have heard words that you were saying. I don't pretend to understand what you were talking about, or your reference to burglars, but I think I am right in believing that you think that I am no good. I will show you. I have no signs on my door. It was painted a week ago. And I'm quite sure you have come to the wrong house. As soon as I saw your funny faces on the doorstep, I had my doubts, but treat it as the right one. Tell me what you want done, and I will try it. If I have to walk here to the east of the east and fight the wild wereworms in the last desert, I had a great-great-granduncle once, Bolror took, and...
Yes, but that was long ago. I was talking about you, and I assure you that there is a mark on the door, the usual one in the trade, or used to be. Burglar wants a good job, plenty of excitement and reasonable reward. That's how it usually read. You can say expert treasure hunter instead of burglar if you like. Some of them do. It's all the same to us. Gandalf told us that there was a man of the sorts in these parts looking for a job at once, and that he had arranged for a meeting place this Wednesday tea time.
Of course there is a mark. I put it there myself, for very good reasons. You asked me to find the 14th man for your expedition, and I chose Mr. Baggins. Just let anyone say I chose the wrong man or the wrong house, and you can go and you can stop at 13 and have all the bad luck you like, or go back to digging coal. Let's have no more argument. I have chosen Mr. Baggins, and that ought to be enough for all of you. I say he is a burglar he is, or will be when the time comes. There is a lot more in him than you can guess, and a deal more than he has any idea of himself. You may possibly all live to thank me yet. Now, Wilma, my boy, fetch the lamp, and let's have a little light on this. This was made by Thor, your grandfather Thorin. It's a plan of the mountain.
I don't see that this will help us much. I remember the mountain well enough, and the lands about it. And I know where Mirkwood is, and the Withered Heath where the great dragons bred.
There's a dragon mark generated on the mountain. It'll be easy enough to find him without that, if we ever arrive there.
There is one point you haven't noticed, and that is the secret entrance. You can see that rune on the west side, and the hand pointing to it from the other rooms. That marks a hidden passage to the lower halls.
It may have been secret once, but how do we know that it is secret any longer? Old Smaug has lived there long enough now to find out anything there is to know about those caves.
He may, but he can't have used it for years and years.
Why?
Because it is too small. 5 feet high the door, and 3 may walk abreast, say the runes, but Smaug could not creep into a hole that size, not even when he was a young dragon, certainly not after devouring so many of the dwarves and men of Dale.
It seems a great big hole to me. How could such a large door be kept secret from everybody outside, apart from the dragon?
In a lot of ways. But in what way this one has been hidden, we don't know without going to see. From what it says on the map, I should guess there is a closed door which has been made to look exactly like the side of the mountain. That is the usual dwarves' method. I think that is right, isn't it?
Quite right.
Also, I forgot to mention that with the map went a key, a small and curious key. Here it is. Keep it safe.
Indeed I will.
I should like to know a bit more about things. Bless me. Haven't you got a map? And haven't we been talking about this for hours? All the same, I should like it all plain and clear. Oh, very well. Long ago, in my grandfather Thor's time, our family took their wealth and their tools to the mountain on the map. I believe they found a great deal of gold and a great many jewels, too. The men built the merry town of Dale there in those days, so my grandfather Thor's halls became full of armor and jewels, and the toy market of Dale was the wonder of the north. Undoubtedly, that was what brought the dragon. Dragons steal gold and jewels. There was a most greedy and strong and wicked worm called Smaug. One day he came south. He came down the slopes and the woods were on fire. After that there were no dwarves left inside the mountain and he took all their wealth for himself. The few of us that were well outside left. That is all.